Hey, how you doing, Darius? Thanks for tuning in today. I'm just getting in the room. Excuse me, just started up my YouTube video and my Instagram video so that we can cover a review of Tiny, well, actually, season 1, episode 3 of Tiny and T.I. Family and Friends Hustle. Have you been watching that show? And if so, what do you think about it so far? We're still in pretty much the beginning of the episode of the season, so we're just on season 3 right now. So if you haven't been catching up with the show, you still got a chance to catch up with the show before the next one comes out next week. But anywho, come on in, everybody. Everybody on YouTube, please like the video on your way in. Everybody on Instagram, you can catch me on YouTube live as well. Tanya's Primetime TV /media reviews. That's my YouTube channel. Make sure you go over there and subscribe. And also, everybody on YouTube, make sure you also go over to my Instagram and follow me over there. It's Tanya Primetime TV. And also in the chat, I'm putting in the links to our Facebook group. We have a Tanya's Primetime TV Facebook group. So I'm going to put the link in the chat as I normally do. And it's the same name as my YouTube channel. So it's pretty easy to remember. It's Tanya's Primetime TV /media reviews. That's the name of the YouTube channel as well. And also, again, I'm putting in my link to my custom cake decorating website as well, which is Tanya's Delight Slice by Slice. So make sure you go over there and follow me on Facebook over there as well. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started on this good old review, because right after this, I'm headed to the gym. And then once I get back, I'm going to take a little break, cool off, get a little rest in. And then for that, again, those of you on Instagram, you can follow me on YouTube, and vice versa. Those of you on YouTube, you can follow me on Instagram as well at Tanya Primetime TV. But that's going to be, let's see, I'm supposed to be at the gym at 6:30. Probably about 9. I'm going to post the link later and schedule it for about 9 o'clock. So make sure you guys look for that, because I'm going to have the phone lines open. And again, we're going to be discussing self-hate. But as far as coming back to this episode of T.I. and Tiny, Friends and Family Hustle, we start off with Tiny, and I think she was driving King to school. And I'm like, do y'all see King, their son King, T.I. and Tiny's son King? He has definitely grown up on us, like right before our eyes. And he's just like a miniature T.I. To me, he sounds like him. I mean, when she was talking about, well, I guess she was kind of being a little nosy, like, us mothers do, and trying to get into his relationship life. Now, keep in mind, he's only 14 years old. At that time, I don't even think I even really allowed my sons to have a girlfriend. They had little friends, but I was like, we ain't calling this no girlfriend thing. That's your home girl. That's all that is. But anyway, he is 14 years old and sounding like he's all of 25. Tiny was getting up all in his business, again, like our mothers tend to do. And she was interested in, knowing if he has a crush on some girl or if he has a girlfriend. And he's like, I'm really not trying to discuss this right now. And he was trying to be all secretive about it. And he said, you know what, Mom, I think this is just a little bit too much information. And Tiny is like, nope. I need the 411. Who is this chick? What she look like? Where her family from? And I think he gave her a few ideas of what she looked like. Like, she's light-skinned. But when he said she looked like a lion, I'm like, okay, maybe she has natural hair. Or maybe she has, like really curly hair like him. Maybe next episode they'll actually show who the... Actually, I think they did. Yep, they did. So she did get to meet the girl. But he was like, she looks like a lion or whatnot. But anyway, he sounds just like T.I. When he was trying to, avoid, speaking about the girlfriend and whatnot, and giving her information on this girl, he was just like, you know what, why we gotta elaborate, the situation. I'm like, elaborate the situation. Are we talking to King or are we talking to T.I.? Because I swear he sounds just like his dad, using all them big words and everything. But you know what? Like father, like son. And then he said what really got me was when he said him and the girl is just building, what did he say? Him and the girl is just building a bond right now. And when they build the bond, they are going to break the barrier. And then they'll be out there until the barrier is filled up. We're not breaking it. He said something like that. And I'm like, what? What did you say, son? Say that again. Say that again a little bit slower because I didn't quite catch that. And she was like, break? What you talking about? Build what? Break what? He was like, trust. Like, duh, mom, trust. Again, he sounds just like T.I. And she was like, okay, all right. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. He is doing too much. He is doing too much. King and that youngest one and the baby, I think they all look like Tiny. But anyway, I really love how close knit the ladies of the cast are. Like they are really, really good friends. Some of these reality shows, some of these ladies are like acquaintances. They run in the same circle, but they always arguing and fighting and trying to one up each other. But in this reality show, you know, Toya, Mo, which is Monica, Latoya, they all like really, really get along, and Tiny, they all get along and they have a very close relationship. And also Tiny's daughter and Toya's daughter also has a really tight relationship. They done grown up together. Them two as well grew up right before our eyes. They done sang together. They was in like a girls group together. They lived together. And in the end, they both turned into some beautiful young women. But after Toya has said, you know, what she has said about how she get upset with her daughter Reginae, if she'd end up quitting college, she quit anyway. I was like, oh, Lord. Does Toya know about this? Does Toya know that you quit college? But she was like, you know what? I'm grown and I can make my own decisions. And then, you know, the fact that she's still also dating that guy, Lucci. She's not happy about that either because Lucci's a rapper. Toya, you know, she was with Lil Wayne for a very, very, very long time. She knows what that lifestyle is about. And from the get-go, she was not feeling that relationship and probably hoping that it would end very quickly. But which show, Bryson? You said did which show stop airing on TV? Did I mention another show? You done got me confused, Bryson. For the people on Instagram, I'm chatting with somebody in the YouTube chat. But she's a grown woman now, and technically she can make her own decisions. But if I was her, if I was Toya, everybody's not made for college. Everybody's not meant to go to college. We all know you don't have to go to college to be successful. It might make it a little easier. No, Bryson, Tiny, and Toya is still coming on. It was actually, remember they had T.I. and Tiny Family Hustle? They ended that one. I think that ended probably either last year. Yeah, I think it was last year or the end of the year before. But now it's T.I. and Tiny Friends and Family Hustle. So they got some of their friends on there, like instead of just T.I. and they family, is now T.I. and they family, is Latoya Luckett, you know, the old member from TLC, from not TLC, from yeah, I'm tripping, not TLC, oh God, Beyonce and now Destiny's Child. But yeah, excuse me. Hold on 1 second. Where's my? Hold on, Bryson. I just want to make sure, but it's VH1. I have Dish, so it's 162. So I don't know what cable company you might go through, but it's 162. I'm looking at the TV now because I had it programmed. It's 162. on VH1. So just check your local VH1 listings and, find out what channel it is. But again, this is the third episode that we're reviewing. So you're not really behind if you wanted to catch up with it and binge watch it. But so far, it's really good. I'm enjoying it. But again, it's T.I. and Tiny and their family. It's LaToya Luckett and her family. And it's also Toya, Lil Wayne's ex, his baby mother, Toya. And then it's also... who else? Monica. You know who Monica is, the singer. But yep. So it's those families that's on this. You old enough to make your own decisions. And you're welcome, hon. You're very welcome. But just as long as you're not depending on me, like my oldest son is 21. He's in college now, but he did tell me like he told me like a week ago, he's like, Mom, I'm tired of school. I'm tired of college. He was one of those kids in school who was like all into sports, more into sports than academics. So he's been in college for like he's on year 3 now. And he's like, Mom, I'm tired of college. I just want to do something else. And of course I wasn't like, okay. But then again, I'm like, dang, I really don't want him to quit. I really don't want him to quit. But in the end, you can suggest it, you can advise it, but when they grown, they can do whatever they want. Long as you don't depend on me to take care of you, take care of every one of your needs. I'm good. Get a job because you can't have all my coins. That's all I gotta say about that. But while Toya and Monica was hanging out together, they was picking out some vegetables. Monica was buying some vegetables and everything. And Monica had revealed to Toya, how now that her husband is back to getting back into playing basketball, she's going through some kind of anxiety, some kind of separation anxiety, because her husband, Shannon, who plays basketball, he had got into a really, really bad accident, and the doctor said he was so lucky, like extremely lucky and blessed to not die in that accident, because a lot of people, those type of accidents, they don't survive from those type of accidents. They did show the car, it's all crushed up and everything, and I was like, dang, it's a blessing that he's still here, walking around. But then Toya had revealed to her how it's coming up on the 2nd year anniversary of her brother's death. Her brothers have both been murdered. I guess they were together and there was an altercation and somebody put out a gun. They were murdered, so they're planning to have a memorial back in New Orleans, and go visit their gravesite, because Toya is actually from New Orleans, and you can hear it all in her, hear it all in her tone, all in her voice and everything, but she's from New Orleans, and her brothers is Josh and Rudy, that was both shot and killed in New Orleans. And I have brothers, and I cannot imagine losing one of them. I have actually 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 2 brothers, by my mom, and then I have 2 brothers by my dad, on my dad's side. And so I have 4 brothers, and I can't imagine losing one of them, but she lost both of them, like at the same time. That has to be devastating. I don't know how you could get through that. And as a mother too, like her mom, I know she took that really hard too. But and then when she's talking about it to Mo, you can just tell in her voice that, this is really, really a very still a very touchy, subject for her. But thank goodness, like I said before, these are really good friends. They have a good support system, so they're able to help each other through things like that. But back to Toya. Back to Toya's daughter, Reginae. Not only, like I said before, not only did she quit college, but she's still dating that guy, VFN Lucci, the rapper. She knows her mom doesn't like it, but again, she's still grown. She can do what she wants, really. But Reginae had a point when she was like, my mom, Toya, I don't know why she be tripping all the time. She always, telling me, I really don't like you dating a rapper. I really wish you would, find somebody else, just a regular guy, because Toya went through a whole bunch with Lil Wayne. And we were not on the inside of their family, but we saw a lot things in the media. They was always in the media. Lil Wayne stayed in the media like all the time. So of course, we followed them, as fans. But she went through a lot with him, and just being a rapper, she just feels like, you know what? Um, I just wish better for you. And I think I said this in my last live. I don't think necessarily, I mean, because parents, when it comes to, let's see, people like rappers, even people like who sing R&B, people who in sports, uh, actors. I mean, a parent is always gonna wish best for their kid, and they is sometimes always gonna find a fault with somebody that their kid is dating. So I don't think all rappers are bad, like Toya was making it out to be. I just think, you know what, you just gotta know what you want, and you gotta know what not to accept. But she knows her daughter, and I think basically her daughter is doing a lot of things um that she saw herself doing, and making a lot of mistakes that she saw herself making. Like when she said last episode, why do you have to follow him around everywhere he go? You do not have to be on every tour with him. You do not have to be on every autograph signing with him. You do not have to be on every, listening party at the studio. You don't have to follow him around like some lost little puppy dog. But she's like, but I like following him around, but so that says it right there. But anyway, anyway, I had saw in the news. I think I said on the first episode of this show, I had saw in the news or on social media, where her and that guy had broke up. But I don't know. Don't quote me on that. They could have got back together. But anyway, this is a perfect example, a prime example of do what I say and not what I do. When it comes to parents, Toya dated a rapper. They was together for many years. But now she don't want her daughter dating a rapper. So, this is an example of do what I say, do what I say and not what I do, following our very own footsteps, regardless if we bless those footsteps or not. So, gotta watch what you do, because you can't be telling your kid all the time, don't smoke, don't drink, don't party, don't this, don't that, and then you doing the same thing. So anyway, that's all I gotta say about that. But Toya's mother, Nita, I don't know if y'all recall, but around 2011, Toya had starred in her own reality show. It was her, and it was her boyfriend at the time. What was his name? Memphis, Mempitz. Memphis. I don't know if y'all remember that reality show, but it was titled excuse me. It was titled A Family Affair. If y'all remember that show, then y'all remember her mother, Nita. In that show, Nita was suffering from, a 24-year cocaine addiction. She was living in the streets. She was in and out of rehab. But Toya was always there for her, always picking her up when she fall, always letting her stay at her house, putting her up, paying for rehabs, everything. And making sure she has food in her house, and all that kind of stuff. But looking at her now in this episode, I was like, is that the same Nita? Y'all would just have to have watched that show and been a fan of that show to know what I'm talking about, because her mom, they had went through a lot. So I'm really glad to see. I don't know if she's totally clean, but she looks good. She looks like she's not on drugs anymore, which is a very good thing. So I'm glad to see that, because after losing both of her sons and then battling cocaine addiction at the same time, something like that could send somebody spiraling way more out of control than just being on drugs and everything and never coming back from that. So I'm glad that she's still around. It looks like she's drug free, or either that or she's getting, all the help that she can get, and she has a support system. But anyway, that was a really good reality show. I don't know if you can look that up on the internet and watch the old episodes, but anyway, that was a pretty good episode. But y'all, when T.I., he had me cracking up because at the beginning of the show, we saw how Tiny, was talking to King, and he was up there making it seem like he really had a girlfriend, and like it's that little baby girl, and Tiny is basically telling him, T.I., you need to have that. You need to have that talk. You need to have the birds and bees talk with this dude right here. And T.I. was like, first of all, okay, Now you hear, okay, you done heard King in the beginning of the show. Now we about to hear T.I., and I swear they sound just alike. Like King is just a little bitty T.I. But anyway, he was like, you know what? Since you out there trying to engage in some grown folk activities, that's how he sound, activities. He said, don't let a temporary itch dig you out of a permanent ditch. And I'm like, what? Did y'all hear what he said? Don't let a temporary itch dig you out of a permanent ditch. And I'm like, okay, okay. I believe I know what that means. I believe I know what that means. But that is exactly where King gets his vocabulary from. But I'm going to use that. I'm really going to use that expression every single time I see somebody about to make a wrong turn or see somebody about to make a mistake or, make a wrong decision. That's going to be my don't let a temporary itch dig you out of a permanent ditch. I have, did drugs before. Him and Tiny might have made some bad decisions before, but he is an awesome dad. He is a great father. I could never take that away from him. I don't think anybody can take that away from him. We as parents aren't perfect, but one thing for sure, two things for certain, he is a good parent and he is a good teacher as well. And everything that he says, like not only to his kids, but even in interviews, he sounds like he done went to college for like 15 years. Everything that comes out of his mouth, I mean, it just sounds like he's teaching you a lesson. Sounds like either one of those old heads that you sit around with and they trying to kick the young folks some knowledge. That's what he sounds like. That's how he comes across to me. But back to Regine. Now, although she dropped out of college, at least she's trying to do something positive with her life. I mean, did y'all see the scene when they was practicing like their acting, and I guess there was an acting coach that they were working with, and Zanique and Regine, they had to do their part, and I was like, oh my God, this little girl, I know she's a young lady, but she's still, I didn't watch her practically grow up on TV. This little girl, she real life was making me seem like she was about to kick Zanique's butt. Like they was like real life about to bang over some dude. That is how good her acting skills were, and she's just a beginner. I was really impressed. I mean, I was really impressed. For a second, I really had to double take when they first started talking, because Zanique had came out and she was like, I just gotta let you know that I'm seeing your dude and I'm pregnant with him. Then Toya's daughter Regine was like, I'm pregnant with him. We both pregnant by the same dude. And Regine got up and she was just going off. And I was like, hold up. She was like, Zanique. Because first of all, they acting. So I didn't expect them to be using each other's names. But she was like, Zanique, what I gotta tell you about? I was like, hold up. Is they acting? Or I'm looking at the TV like, is they acting? Is they still acting? But yeah, I was really impressed. And believe me, if she keep up those lessons and working with acting coaches, taking classes, blah, 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 I can definitely see her in the box office on the big screen. But anyway, Monica, she had a big party or planned a big party for her and Shannon's daughter. Her name is Leia, and she invited Toya and her husband there, for the party. And I'm looking at Mo like, man, it's only season 3. I mean, it's only episode 3. And I think she's done worn like 10 different fluorescent wigs. And I'm like, how many wigs she got? This girl, we just saw her in like a bright red, a bright pink, a bright green, a bright blue. Now today, well, in this last episode, she had on bright yellow. And then she had like this yellow and white striped outfit. And I'm like, this girl knows she looked like a big old bumblebee. But regardless, Mo, that's my girl. She was looking cute. She was looking like a real cute bumblebee. But one thing about when they were there, Toya, she was like, well, my bad. Toya, they both named Toya, except for one is LaToya. LaToya Luckett is the one that had went over Mo's house. But one thing about it, when they were sitting around the table and discussing, Latoya Lucky's pregnancy, because she's big as a house in here. I think she had her baby by now, but she was big as a house in that show. But anyway, they were discussing, Mo and Shannon, when they baby was, due to arrive and everything. And he was like, he sat up there and said, when Mo was pregnant with their daughter, he could not wait till that thing arrived. I was like, what? Mo was like, what? He was like, yeah, I couldn't wait till that thing came out. She was like, thing. Did you just call our daughter a thing? Not thing. He called her a thing. And he was like, yeah, our daughter. I was rolling. I'm like, okay, is this the new terminology for newborn babies? For the younger, these younger parents, I'm like, I'm dead. He said, I can't wait till that thing come out. I'm like, okay, all right. But anyway, and then after that, Latoya Luckett, she was like, dang, Mo always got to go overboard. Like, she always got to, do it real big, for her kids. I think her daughter, it was her 5th birthday. And Mo was like, cause she had a carnival party. So they had like the carnival, the cotton candy, they had, all the games, the rides, all that stuff. And Mo was like, well, you know what? I think she was on green screen when she was saying this to the producers. But she's like, you know what? People say that all the time. Sometimes we do it real, real big, when we celebrate our kids. But she said, you have to understand, Mo has been in the music business since she was about, I want to say 12. She was about 12 years old. She really didn't have a childhood, before she got in the music scene, because remember, it was her and Brandy. They were always pitting them two together. It was her and Brandy. They both came out really, really young. And so she really didn't have a childhood. So she's like, yeah, every time my kids have a birthday, we might go overboard, but that's what she likes to do. And one thing I can say is I feel her on that, because when I was growing up, we really didn't have parties. We weren't really that wealthy either. I mean, our mom made sure, we had cake and ice cream, might had a few people over, but I honestly, I done said this before to my friends and family. I'm like, dang, did we have parties growing up? Because I don't remember having parties at all growing up. But one thing for sure, I remember cake and ice cream. So when I had my sons, from the very first birthday party, anybody can tell you, up until my son's 21st birthday party, his party, I was like, every party, we went overboard. If it wasn't, we renting out a hall, like, a social hall, a recreational hall, something like that, reception hall. If we wasn't doing that and having DJs up in there and, just big old parties and lots of food and cakes and, everything everywhere. Oh man, y'all should really check out my on my cake decoration page on Facebook, my son's 21st birthday party. I posted those pictures. It was food everywhere, food for days. Of course, we had the DJ, we had, the reception hall. And then I made him a 3-tier cake. He said, Mom, I want a big Reese's Pieces chocolate cake. And I make a really, really good one, homemade and everything. So I was like, okay, it has to be enough cake for, a party. And he has a lot of friends. We got a lot of family. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to make a big cake. So I made this big, tall 3-tier cake and homemade peanut butter frosting, chocolate cake, chocolate ganache flowing down the sides, Reese's Pieces all over the cake. I mean, and then on top of that, I had made like 100 cupcakes, banana pudding, cupcakes, because he said he wanted some banana pudding cupcakes. And it was everything. Chocolate covered pretzels, chocolate covered Rice Krispie treats, chocolate covered strawberry. I mean, it was lit. It was really lit. So that's how we get down every birthday party. And you know what? One thing I gotta say, don't let nobody, seriously, don't let nobody tell you how to spend your coins on your own child. I have been like that all the time. If I'm not asking you for the money, if I'm not borrowing it, if I'm not robbing Peter to pay Paul, don't worry about how much money I spend on my kids. I'm just saying. But when Toya, getting back to Tiny, when Tiny was up there packing, I'm like, did I hear her right? She then actually decided to go with Ti to Trinidad. I think she should have made that decision like in the first place, but she was like trying to play it off like she didn't want to go. He got to do, more than just buy me gifts to try to get back in like Flynn. But he's buying you red bottoms, he's buying you cars, he's buying you clothes, he's buying you jewelry. I mean, why not take a trip? It's your 8th year anniversary. Why not take a trip? You taking everything else from this man, but then you talking about, oh, I need something more than gifts for him to get back in with Flynn. But you happily on the show accepted all these gifts on Instagram in your new whip, like thanks Tip, thanks Ti, rolling around in your new whip. Why not go on a trip, please, child? Like I said last episode, I would have been like, when is the trip? What day is the trip? What time are we leaving? Do you got a babysitter? I'm about to get my nails did, my hair did, my eyebrows did, and my lashes did. And I'll be ready whenever you are. But anyway, she decided to go on the trip with him. So hopefully they'll have a wonderful time. But then as the show ended, it ended on kind of a, it was emotional note at the end of the show. We saw Toya and her family, her mom and her daughter and, other family members and friends back in New Orleans. And they're there to, again, visit the gravesite of her brothers that were murdered. And while down there, they also was planning to, take a boat ride to celebrate their celebrate her brother's lives. And they probably, gonna release some balloons or some flowers in the water, probably something like that. But it was a very, very emotional experience for her mom. And if y'all watch, like I said, if y'all watch the old reality show that Toya, starred in about 7 years ago, titled A Family Affair, y'all would have seen just how much her and her mother went through when her mom was going through her cocaine addiction and Toya was there trying to save her mom's life. Basically, her mom was really, really strung out. When they showed the scenes where she was like walking through the streets of New Orleans and nobody knew where she was and they had to check all the crack house. I mean, it was bad. It was really bad. So again, it's a blessing to see that she's doing okay. But even her daughter Reginae, she took it bad. She was broken down because in the A Family Affair, in that reality show, her daughter was really, really close to her uncles, especially her uncle Rudy. They was more like siblings, like brother and sister, instead of, because Toya had her really young. Toya had Reginae really young. So Toya's brothers were young. So of course, when Reginae started growing up, her uncles weren't that much older than her. So she kind of, they kind of treated like brother and sister. And that's like one of my uncles. One of my uncles is younger than me because my grandma, she didn't actually have him. She actually adopted him when he got older. When she was older in age, she adopted him. One of her friends, wasn't going to have him. She promised her she would let her have the baby if she would not, get rid of the baby, that she would adopt the baby as soon as he was born. So that's what my grandma did. And so she adopted my uncle. So that's how my uncle ended up being younger than me. And the whole time we grew up, please, that boy would be like, y'all gotta do what I say. Y'all gotta mind me, cause I'm the uncle. And like, boy, bye. To us, you are cousin, or like our brother, because he was younger than us. Boy, bye. I wish I would obey you. You better go on somewhere. But anyway, she took it really, really hard too. And of course, y'all know when it comes to scenes like these, y'all know I'm a big old baby. I like to consider myself a strong woman, but when it comes to scenes like these, of course, I was shedding a few tears. So I was up there like, oh, this is so sad. But, it is really sad. It's really sad. Again, I can't imagine losing one brother, or, both of my sons. But, so that's really hard for them. But tell me what y'all thought about this episode. I thought this episode was really good. I've been really enjoying the whole season so far. Again, this was only this was only episode 3. So we have few more episodes to go. If you haven't been watching, you still have time to binge watch before the next episode come on next weekend. So make sure you let me know what you thought about the show, in the chat or on Instagram or on YouTube. And again, you guys, make sure you look up our group on Facebook. It's called Tanya's Primetime TV /media reviews, the same as my YouTube channel. All you have to do is click the request to join, and I will add you to our group. And over there, I post, the videos. We discuss, different shows, reality shows, trending news, celebrities, stuff like that. So anyway, make sure you check that out. Again, make sure you like the video, click the like button. And if you're just scrolling through, make sure you subscribe if you are not already a subscriber. And please make sure you share. Please make sure you share the love. And also, tonight, like I said, I'm going to come back to you guys tonight around 9 o'clock. I will schedule it so you will see the notifications. If you are subscribed to my YouTube channel, all you have to do to make sure you get those notifications is make sure that bell is selected right next to subscribe. All you have to do is hit that bell, and when you see the asterisk around the bell, that means you're going to get notifications. So when I schedule my lives, you'll get the notifications. You'll know when I'm coming on, so you can be prepared and you can tune in. But again, the discussion tonight is going to be on self-hatred. So please make sure you guys come back tonight. I'm about to get out of here. It's about 6:15. I'm supposed to hit the gym at 6:30 with my close friend of mine, so we can, work off some calories. But anyway, you guys, in the meantime and in between time, Prime Time Squad, make sure you stay safe, be blessed, and I'm out.